Top 10 machine used in construction. The building process is rarely an easy one. The terrain needs to be leveled, and workers must also navigate exceedingly tall structures and handle heavy materials. Because of these factors, heavy machinery is an absolute necessity on virtually every construction site. There is a great deal of variety in the construction machinery available. Each type can be utilized in a variety of ways and can take on a variety of combinations. A construction business can make the process as productive and risk-free as it possibly can if they have the appropriate tools. These 10 categories of heavy machinery are among those that are utilized on building sites the vast majority of the time. Number 1. Excavators. Excavators are a common piece of heavy equipment used in the construction industry. The majority of their applications, as their names suggest, are in the realm of earth moving and excavation. In certain circumstances, they are also utilized to move materials, demolishing constructions, and cutting down trees. The operator of an excavator sits in a cabinet that is attached to the machine, and from there they control the long arm that contains a digging bucket. The entirety of the setup can be turned up to a full 360 degrees around the pivot point of the excavator. Excavators come in a variety of forms, and most construction businesses use more than one. Wheel and track models are the ones that are utilized the most frequently. Wheel excavators get around with the assistance of large tires designed specifically for use on construction equipment, and track excavators move with the aid of steel tracks. Number 2. Bulldozers. Dozers, also known as bulldozers, are pieces of heavy machinery that have a big metal blade mounted on the front of the machine. This blade is used to push earth and other materials. Dozers come in both track and wheel configurations, similar to excavators. Wheel dozers can move far more quickly than their competitors, but at the expense of spreading their weight over a smaller area. As a consequence of this, there is a much increased possibility that they will fall to the ground. Tracks often create less ground disturbance than wheels do when being moved, and they offer superior gripping power as a result of their superior ability to distribute pressure. Number 3. Pavers. Asphalt is laid down using these machines, which can be used for roads, bridges, parking lots, and other surfaces. For them to perform their function, asphalt is moved from a dump truck to the roadway, where it is then distributed evenly across the area that is being paved. The asphalt that these machines lay down is often subjected to a minimal amount of compaction. Nonetheless, this is not sufficient to render the surface level. They will almost always be accompanied by a compactor or another machine that is capable of rolling the asphalt into a flat surface. Number 4. Compactors or rollers, whichever you like. These are big machines, typically the size of large steel drums or tires, and the front end is equipped with a roller of some form. These machines are utilized by construction organizations whenever a surface needs to be as level as is humanly possible. Materials that contain naturally occurring voids can be compacted into a flatter shape with the assistance of specialized machines known as vibratory compactors. These empty regions may cause the surface to become unstable, which will, over time, cause damage to foundations and other structures. The movement of compactors is accompanied by a vibration, which shakes the material being paved to ensure that it is level and clear of empty pockets. After being compacted, the earth ought to be able to supply any construction with a firm platform. Number 5. Telehandlers. Telehandlers are a type of construction equipment that is utilized in the process of reaching high areas. They are also known as teleporters, and telescopic handlers. The pallet fork attachment on a telehandler is the most common attachment used in industrial settings. And the most common application for a telehandler is moving items to and from locations that a normal forklift cannot access. For instance, telehandlers can remove palletized cargo from within a trailer and position loads on rooftops and other high areas. Telehandlers may also transport loads on other elevated surfaces. The latter application, on the other hand, would call for the use of a crane, which is not always feasible or time efficient. There is a wide range of dimensions and arm lengths available for telehandlers. When choosing a telehandler, a construction firm needs to have an understanding of how to choose the appropriate size of the equipment they use, but this is crucial for any construction company. One that is either too small or too large will be unable to function most efficiently. Number 6. Dump trucks. Large quantities of material can be moved from one location to another using dump trucks, which subsequently deliver the material to the location where it is required. Dump trucks classified as rigid have unmovable chassis. The cab and truck bed of articulated dump trucks are connected by a pivot in the middle. As an articulated truck travels over bumpy terrain, the pivot will enable the vehicle to more closely conform to the surface it is traveling over. The standard, rigid variants of dump trucks tend to be more affordable than their articulated counterparts. They are also significantly easier to maneuver, and they perform significantly better than rigid trucks while traversing uneven terrain. Number 7. People who drive piles. Pile drivers are necessary for driving pile foundations into the ground. Pile foundations are long, slender columns made out of concrete, timber, or other strong materials. These machines are used to hoist piles, then hold them in place in the appropriate orientation before driving them into the earth to the required depth. The most common type of pile driver consists of a large weight that is positioned above a pile and is held in place between two vertical guides. The load is lifted using some kind of motive power, which could be hydraulics, steam, diesel, an electric motor, or even just manual work. When it reaches its highest point, the weight is dropped, which causes the pile to collide with the ground and sink. It is dependent upon the particular piece of machinery as to how the pile is inserted into the ground by the machine. Some people will drive the pile in with a hammer, while others will utilize hydraulic force. Others will only throw it down from a considerable height. Number 8. Dugouts and trenches. Trenchers are big pieces of equipment that are utilized in the process of excavating trenches in the ground. Pipelines, cables, and drainage ditches are typical applications for these conduits. Wheel and chain trenchers are the two most common varieties of this tool. The lengthy arm of a chain trencher, to which a toothed chain is attached, is a standard feature of these machines. Trenchers that use wheels have a metal wheel that has digging teeth attached to it. Both are capable of digging the same kind of trench, although wheel trenchers are more effective at working in layers of difficult soil. Although other machines such as excavators are capable of doing the same tasks as trenchers, their efficiency is not even close to that of trenchers. In certain circumstances, the productivity of one trencher can be comparable to that of 4 excavators. Backhoe loaders are number 9 on this list. The excavator and the backhoe loader share many similarities. An operator can operate the digging bucket from a central cabin while it is attached to an arm that extends from the machine. There are a variety of attachments, such as rippers and thumbs, that can occasionally take the place of the bucket. This digging assembly, on the other hand, is fastened to the rear of the machine, in contrast to the excavator. The front of the backhoe is outfitted with a loader as well. Excavators often have greater lifting capacities than backhoes do. They are utilized by construction organizations for projects of a more manageable scale the majority of the time. Tower cranes. Number 10. During the construction of tall constructions, tower cranes are utilized to push items up to higher levels. A mast is a vertical tower that provides support for the construction, and each one of these comprises one. In addition, these cranes have a jib, which is the arm of the crane, as well as an operator's cabin and a counterweight that is referred to as a counter jib. Whenever a construction company wants to hoist big goods that cannot be moved up a structure simply in any other way, they will typically rely on a tower crane to accomplish this task. This is the end of today's video. Give your precious feedback in our comment section below. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.